the top 9 opulent stores of the Gilded Era. During a period of unprecedented prosperity, nations experienced a surge in disposable income, leading to the emergence of luxurious department stores and exclusive boutiques that transformed the shopping landscape. Today, we revisit the Gilded Age, a time marked by extravagant spending where shopping became a symbol of social status. In the mid to late 1800s, a new type of retail store emerged, catering exclusively to the desires of the growing upper class and effortlessly separating them from their wealth. These establishments, referred to as palaces of consumption, boasted magnificent architecture and lavish interiors, turning shopping into a grand spectacle. They became cultural landmarks for those who embraced lavishness. Whether you're unabashedly extravagant or simply curious about the shopping habits of high society during the Gilded Age, this is the place for you. Without further delay, here are the top 9 most luxurious shops of the Gilded Age. Number 9. Bloomingdale's. Let's begin our journey in Gilded Age New York with one of the most renowned department stores in the United States. Bloomingdale's, established in 1861 by Joseph and Lehman Bloomingdale, started as a modest hoop skirt shop on Manhattan's Lower East Side. In 1872, they launched a second location in Midtown, which eventually outgrew its space. This led to a move to a larger building at 59th Street and 3rd Avenue, where the flagship store still resides. Bloomingdale's rapidly broadened its offerings to include a variety of fashion and luxury items, and by the 1880s, it had become a premier shopping destination for New York's elite. Bloomingdale's has evolved into a renowned fashion destination, expanding its departments over the years to cater to both local and international shoppers. With its flagship store occupying a significant block in New York City, the brand recently marked its 150th anniversary and has since expanded with locations across the United States, as well as internationally in Dubai and Kuwait. Number 8 is Marshall Field's, established in 1852 by Potter Palmer. Marshall Field and Harry Selfridge later took control, transforming it into a retail powerhouse by the 1890s. This legendary department store introduced Chicago to a revolutionary shopping experience, featuring fixed prices, luxury goods, elegant window displays, a charming in-store tea room, and customer-friendly policies like "Give the lady what she wants" and "The customer is always right." The flagship store on State Street was notable for its Great Hall, a mosaic vaulted ceiling designed by Louis Comfort Tiffany, and distinctive outdoor street corner clocks. Constructed in stages over more than 2 decades, it became the world's second largest store. During the Gilded Age, it was a premier shopping destination and social hub for Chicago's elite and newly wealthy. If you've never heard of Marshall Field's, that's because it ceased to exist in 2005 after being acquired by Federated Department Stores. Although the iconic State Street location remains, its former splendor has faded and the building now houses Macy's. Number 7. Henri Bendel. This iconic fashion emporium, recognized by its signature brown and white striped packaging, was founded in 1895 by milliner and designer Henri Bendel. Initially, Bendel opened his boutique in New York's Greenwich Village, where he sold high-end women's hats and accessories. The boutique quickly earned a reputation for its stylish designs and became a status symbol among New York City's elite women. In 1913, the store relocated to a grander location on 57th Street. As business boomed, Bendel expanded the store's offerings to include the latest Parisian couture, as well as cosmetics, jewelry, fragrances, and home accessories. Despite going through various ownership changes and relocations, Henri Bendel was a beloved fixture in New York's retail landscape for over a century. However, the store closed its doors in 2019, marking the end of a significant era in New York's fashion and retail history. Number 6. Harrods. Located in the affluent Knightsbridge district of London, this lavish department store swiftly became an emblem of luxury during England's late Victorian and Edwardian eras. Its origins trace back to 1834, when Charles Henry Harrod opened a modest grocery shop on Brompton Road. Under the careful stewardship of future generations, the store earned a reputation for outstanding quality and service, attracting a discerning clientele. Harrods, despite facing challenges like a major fire in 1883, transformed into a luxurious department store spanning an entire city block. By the late 19th century, it became synonymous with opulence, serving elite clientele and royalty worldwide. Harrods introduced innovations like escalators and boasted attractions like the Egyptian Hall. Today, it remains a symbol of grandeur and sophistication, standing as the world's largest and most prestigious department store. Number 5. Harvey Nichols. Here's another gem from the upscale Knightsbridge area, founded by Benjamin Harvey. This luxury retailer began in 1831 as a small textile shop nestled in a terraced house, catering to the city's fashionable elite. 1848, when employee James Nichols married Harvey's niece, bringing the Nichols name into the fold. Throughout the Victorian era, the store expanded into neighbouring properties, culminating in a complete redevelopment in 1889 that resulted in the large, elegant department store that occupies the entire block between Seville and Sloane Streets today. Harvey Nichols emerged as a formidable rival to Harrods, drawing in an elite clientele. Initially offering opulent fabrics and haberdashery, it evolved into a destination for curated fashion collections and gourmet food and wine by the 1890s. Today, Harvey Nichols remains in its original location and has expanded globally. Number 4. House of Worth. Curious where the wealthiest women of the 19th century found their most cutting-edge fashions? Aside from personal dressmakers, the only place offering such exclusivity was a fashion house. Throughout the Gilded Age, none were as revered as the Parisian House of Worth. Founded in 1858 by British designer Charles Frederick Worth, this prestigious fashion house pioneered the concepts of haute couture and designer labels. From dramatic fabrics and intricate beading on delicate gowns to lavish trimmings and meticulously tailored reception dresses, every creation exuded power and grace. The House of Worth became synonymous with luxury and sophistication, attracting American high society as well as European royalty and aristocrats, all traveling to Paris to curate their wardrobes. For an unforgettable gown for a wedding, afternoon tea, or a masquerade ball, Empress Eugénie of France and Alice Vanderbilt turned to the House of Worth. Unfortunately, by the 20th century, the House of Worth began to fade as new haute couture fashion houses emerged. By 1956, this once dominant fashion powerhouse had closed its doors for good. Number 3. City of Paris. When it came to bringing Parisian chic to America, Felix and Émile Verger had an ingenious idea. In 1850, they sailed into San Francisco harbor with a cargo of French silks, fine wines, champagne, and cognac. The citizens of San Francisco eagerly surrounded their ship in rowboats, purchasing goods directly from the deck without waiting for them to be unloaded. The brothers wasted no time in returning to France to restock, then sailed back to San Francisco, where they opened a waterfront store named City of Paris. This unique establishment quickly became a hub of Parisian culture and fashion for the fashionable ladies of San Francisco during the Gilded Age. Thanks to the City of Paris, they could easily access the latest trends without ever leaving their city. The City of Paris relocated in 1896, featuring a magnificent stained glass rotunda post, the 1906 earthquake. Despite closing in 1972 and being replaced by Neiman Marcus, the old rotunda was preserved as a cherished tourist spot behind a modern glass wall. Number 2. Before Stewart & Company, Alexander Tony Stewart, hailed as the pioneer of department stores, made his mark on retail history. This Irish-born merchant opened his first shop in 1823 on Chambers Street in Lower Manhattan. Such was its success that in 1846 he erected a grand marble edifice to showcase his imported goods. It wasn't until 1862 that Stewart unveiled his masterpiece, the Iron Palace, a 6-story marvel boasting a cast iron facade, glass dome skylight, and vast emporium spanning the entire block at Broadway and 10th Streets. With 30 departments offering luxurious linens, European fashions, toys, carpets, and more, Stuart's store attracted New York's wealthiest clientele. Its iconic presence on the city skyline rendered signage unnecessary. Stuart's was simply synonymous with upscale shopping. And for the elite ladies of New York, it was the premier destination. Notably, Stuart's was also a pioneer in mail-order business and fixed pricing, revolutionizing the retail experience. In 1896, Stuart's empire changed hands, and the original building succumbed to fire in 1956. However, the legacy lives on through the Stuart's Marble Palace, still standing proudly at 280 Broadway, now home to various offices and retail outlets. Number 1. Siegel Cooper. In the late Gilded Age, this retail titan emerged in 1887 courtesy of Henry Siegel and Frank Cooper in Chicago. Their success soared, prompting them in 1894 to venture into New York with a mammoth store spanning 15.5 acres, employing nearly 3,000 staff. Dubbed the Big Store, it dominated 6th Avenue between 18th and 19th Streets. Their aim? To outshine A.T. Stewart, then struggling, and surpass all rivals in New York. Their strategy paid off. On opening day in 1896, a crowd of 40,000 eager customers surged outside. The scene turned chaotic, with some trampled and others fainting as the doors finally swung open. Siegel Cooper quickly became New York's inaugural indoor shopping mall, boasting 124 departments, offering not just fashion and homewares, but a plethora of services from a bicycle shop to a bank, a post office to a dentist. Siegel Cooper, known for its vast inventory, expanded to Boston by 1905. However, Henry Siegel's ambitious pursuits led to bankruptcy in 1915, prompting the closure of all stores. The Chicago location was taken over by Sears Roebuck, while the New York store served as a military hospital during World War I before transitioning into a warehouse and housing low-end retailers. Today, the Chicago site is home to Robert Morris University, and the Boston location houses government offices and small retailers. As a special treat for sticking with us, we're throwing in a bonus: Ladies' Mile. While not a single store, it's a renowned neighborhood that flourished during the Gilded Age. Ladies' Mile, a historic district in downtown Manhattan, was a flourishing center of upscale shopping and social activity during the Gilded Age. Its emergence challenged societal norms, providing a safe space for affluent women to explore unaccompanied. Beginning with Stuart's relocation of his department store in 1862, the area attracted a multitude of luxurious establishments, including iconic names like Lord & Taylor and Tiffany's. The district's opulent buildings reflected the refined tastes of its elite clientele. However, the onset of the Great Depression marked a decline in its prominence, paving the way for newer shopping areas. Today, while the architectural splendor remains, the neighborhood has transitioned to accommodate more affordable retailers. As we conclude our exploration of the Gilded Age's most luxurious shops, we invite you to share your favorite venues and experiences. If you found this video valuable, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring the notification bell to stay updated on our future content. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time, take care and see you soon.